wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Check. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Watch and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elder trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
There's one other thing.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, man, back with another one, man. Hope you all having a wonderful Thursday out there. Football season is just around the bend, okay? You know, as Pocahontas would say, just around the river bend, just around the river bend. All right, we are just the countdown to football is here, will be here very, very soon. And listen, Monday, you don't want to miss Outspoken. I got my boy Josh from HBCU Nightly. Hey, Monday night, Perry White, Josh M. Sr., Southern and North Central will be added in full effect for the MEAC SWAC Kickoff Challenge. It is going to be a show. You don't want to miss it. I got some surprise guests as well, but you definitely do not want to miss that show on Monday. Again, Perry Wright in Southern and North Central. All right. It's going down on Monday night. Make sure you guys are tuned in. It should be a very, very pleasant, very, very, very political correct. Some PC trash talking. No, I'm just playing, but should be a good time, man. We're gonna have a good time, and as always, man, just trying to entertain. That's what we do here. All right, try to have a good time, try to have fun. Make sure you guys get your laughs off and get some good information, right? Because Perry, Josh, they're gonna bring you the stats, they're gonna bring you the info, they're gonna give you all the history and going forward. Now, let me preference my comments. I'm gonna say something. Then I'm gonna preference my comments for the show. Now, let me say this. It has been brought to my attention that said head coach from the SWAC has a problem with my platform. Now, again, it's nothing new. I mean, like, who doesn't have a problem with my platform is the real question, right? But I keep trying to tell y'all. And today I'm going full Scotty mode today, so bear with me. I try to tell you guys that a lot of these Bamas in the SWAC could never be real head coaches anywhere else. I try to tell y'all all the time because they want to be kumbaya, dance around, everybody holding hands, let's sing praises to Allah and throw roses to everybody. Everybody got to be everybody's friend. Everybody got to be somebody cool. Now, listen, I'm not the guy who gets beat by 40 at home because I'm not here to say no names. Okay? Now, I don't know what I possibly could have done or said to have made you feel some type of way, but I promise you, whatever it wasn't me. All right? It wasn't me. Now, you might want to worry about you being a defensive guy getting 40 put on you than worried about me. Okay? I just want to be very clear about that. But again, if you it's too many people on your staff that have my number. There's too many people that cover you that have my number. So if you have a problem, why not reach out instead of just, is it going to be on the Off-Scripts platform? Oh, I don't rock with that platform. Man, that's some weak stuff, man. Again.
Oh, goddamn.
Again, I'm going to keep saying this again. A lot of these head coaches that you think they could never. Because if you think what I do is bad, get your ass in the white space and see how that goes for you. Okay? I told you there's only a few coaches that can make this thing work. Probably TC, probably Eddie Robb, you know what I'm saying? Willie, as you can see, Trey Oliver. It's not that many people. Tremaine, I think Tremaine can do it. It's not that many people that have the self-esteem to say, you know what? I don't care what's being said about me. I'm going to just do what I do and wash my shoes, right? But again, hey, teach his own. Again, next year, worry about somebody getting 40-pieced. You worry about not getting 40-pieced at the crib. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. We can go from there. It don't bother me none. I just had to make that. I just had to make that known that I know now. I know. So again, let's put the cards on the table. You know what I'm saying? I hate that behind the scenes stuff, man. I really do. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on with me, that a lot of stuff that doesn't get out, that I don't talk about, but I like to put the cards on the table. My wife is the one that says, hey, don't say nothing, don't do this, don't do that. But me, hey, let's put the cards on the table. Let's put the cards on the table. I ain't got no issues with you, but you got an issue with me. So now I got a problem. So now we got a problem. So it's too easy for me. Now, second part of this, right? Second part of this. I read now. Listen, now this is bald head Rick Fox, and y'all know I don't really rock with bald head Rick Fox like that, right? But what I will say is this: I listen. You gotta. I feel like you gotta respect how things have gotten to where they're at, right? Like I could say, and I could say that with a pretty strong. I could say my influence on the space was pretty strong. Right? You can deny all you want. You can say Scotty didn't do nothing, whatever. You can say, oh, we were already on YouTube. Phooey. Okay. Phooey. Nobody was watching y'all. And I can tell you, still nobody's watching y'all, but that's neither here nor there. Right? But you do got to respect who has blazed the trail to even get to this part right here. So when I read this about the article, I felt some type of way. And it wasn't in like a mean type of way. I really felt some type of way. I was like, dang, like, bald head Rick Fox said HBCU Sports is calling on readers and supporters for a fundraising effort to keep its independent coverage of Black college athletics alive, right? It says HBCU Sports is calling on readers and supporters to help raise $10,000 in the next 7 days to keep its writers on the job and independent coverage of Black college athletics alive. The 28-year-old outlet recognized as the nation's longest running digital publication dedicated to historically Black colleges and universities, launched the emergency campaign Wednesday amid what founder Ken Richard, or, if you want to call him bald head Rick Fox, right, described as an unsustainable financial shortfall that has already impacted payroll, right? The 20-year-old outlet recognized as the nation's longest running digital platform. Oh, my bad. In a YouTube video posted last month, Rashad publicly revealed that the site's declining revenue had left unable to pay his writers, a first in the platform's nearly 30-year history. This operation ain't free. Rashad said in the video, we can't continue to cover HBCU sports level and our audience expects without good coverage, whatever. Funny. Hey, Scotty, what's up? What's up, Ms. Gunn? Let me say this, right? Again, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, right? Because I know for a fact a lot of you Bama's was on the forums that Ken Richard did back in the day. I know a lot of people talk about that before it kind of moved over to Facebook, but you guys are on Ken Richard's forums, and a lot of them forums are still up to where you can Google and research certain things that people have said back in the day and stuff like this. I say this. There's a lot of talk about Black people not supporting Black people. And I feel like if Ken Richard in any form or fashion has helped you keep track of HBCU during the forum days, it does not matter if you don't watch him now. It does not matter if you don't read him now, right? It's like this, like you got to give credit where credit is due to continuing the coverage, to push, to keep kicking the can down the road. So there are people like a Baby Cornrows or Fox News, right? Like all it stems from something. Somebody had to get inspiration somewhere to do something here, there, or whatever, right? So again, I don't know where to donate the money at. I really don't, right? I really don't. But at the end of the day, if people come out in droves, $20, $15, $10, it does not matter. I feel like if HBCU Sports, have you read it, if it contributed to it, at the end of the day, go support. Go support. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, go support. It is not easy living this independent life. And I know a lot of see, this is the thing that gets me, right? When people hear this, they'll say, go get a job. I'm not helping you do this. Go get a job. But it's like, bro, I've been your entertainment. And I'm not just saying for me, I'm saying for Ken Richard. Ken Richard could be your entertainment when you at your job and you bored and you watching whatever you're watching or reading whatever you're reading, right? Like, again, I could be your entertainment when you're in the hospital or you're going down or, you're chilling at the crib or you just want to laugh or whatever. It could be. Listen, again, I know a lot of you guys think that this stuff is just like, oh, it's whatever. And it's, go get a job. Like, come on, man. Like, that is his job. Supporting you guys with information and facts and using his sources to give you whatever information you want to get. That is his job. So the least, when I mean the least we can do as a community, because I know a lot of you Bama's read his articles, because he be having some breaking news stuff. Let's not act like he don't, okay? Like, he do be having some breaking news stuff in his articles. Now, I don't know, and don't act like y'all don't be watching the press conferences. Listen, you got to give Ballhead Rick Fox credit. If it wasn't for Ballhead Rick Fox live streaming the press conferences, y'all Bamas would never see him. Because that four-letter institution, they don't give a damn about y'all. They just got that light-skinned, carry-ass following Bama talking about some, today we have joining us Connor Maynard from Alabama A&M. Connor Maynard, can you talk about your outing for the last Saturday, and what your team is going to do going forward? Like, bro, this shit's hella boring. But again, you get it because the four-letter institution wasn't going to give it to you. So you got to give Ballhead Rick Fox credit for that. He the one that put y'all on game about the press conferences. So if you never got the press conference, you would have never gotten Mickey Joseph talking about the referees. You would have never got Connell Maynard telling Deion, can I get a scooter? You would have never got them hot takes. You would have never got people getting frustrated and all that. You would have never got it. You would have never gotten it. So you got to give credit. Well, credit is due. And all I'm saying is just go support, man. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, $100, whatever your budget can allow, whatever you're willing to give off your heart, just go donate something, man. Like, come on. It's like, that's the thing that kills me is that we as people, we will take, right? We will take, but we won't support. And we'll say our support is eyeballs, but at the end of the day, like, it takes, this stuff is not free. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of our YouTubers, what do we do? Bama's, we got cash apps at the bottom, right? Like, now, unless you want to be Mr. Emotional and do an NIL collective that only one person controls and only one person sees the funds and only one person knows where the money's going to. I mean, unless you're doing something like that, okay then, right? Like, that's their prerogative. But what I'm saying is this, right? A lot of YouTubers have that stuff down because, again, this might be on top of your day job. You might be doing this to do whatever, or, this is your outlet or whatever. I'm not saying you got to support. I'm not saying you got to pay their salary or make sure they're living straight, but I'm saying, like, show support outside of a like. Show support outside of whatever, because I know y'all not going to your job and talking about subscribe to Off Script. I'm telling you, this Bama funny as hell. Like, I know y'all not going to your job and doing that, right? I know y'all not going to your job and doing that. So again, support looks different in many different ways, and all Ken Rashard is asking you over the 30 years that he's probably never asked you for anything other than watch and read is that, can y'all support me and help me make payroll? Now, again, I don't know who on payroll for $10,000 for these writers, because I could get into that, because I ain't gonna go that far. Okay, I'm gonna keep it positive. All right, I'm gonna keep it positive. But at the end of the day, man, y'all go support, man. And that's not just me. That's not just whoever you guys watch on a consistent basis. Support them. Hey, man, here's $10. Go get you some lunch, Scotty. Man, I had a good laugh. Hardy, har, right? Here, She Love Crazy. Here's $5. You know what I'm saying? Go to Giant Eagle and get your prescription refilled. I don't care what you're doing, right? Oh, Hardy, har. Hey, ONG Strike Zone. Thank you for telling me about the different colors of green and orange that we wear for FAMU. Here's $15. Hardy, har. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's all I'm saying is that, again, the time and eyes that you're putting to some of these channels, man, support them. I'm not saying you got to pay their rent. I'm not saying you got to pay their light bill. But, hey, man, here's 5, here's 10, here's whatever. All right, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing, man. So, that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Ballhead Rick Fox, man. Keep doing your thing, man. And I hope everything works out. Now, let's get into today's show. Hey, listen. You might listen. Y'all keep playing. You might see me on OnlyFans like this. Yeah, you might see me on OnlyFans. It might, sign up, $3.99, baby. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, y'all keep playing. I'm telling you, you might see me out there. You know what I'm saying? Be out there like this. I'm done. All right, I'm done. I ain't messing with y'all, man. Listen. So getting back to today's show, man. Because again, there's been a lot of talk. Exposure. And again, I think exposure is a gift and a curse, right? I think there's a benefit, and I also think there's a hindrance. So that's why I said winners and losers. Now, we're talking about the ESPN and Deion era. Right now, ESPN is still going on, but we also got to talk about the Coach Prime, the Deion era, and stuff like that, right? So, but let me break it down to you like this. This is what I feel the HBCU space is. This is a very good book, right? It's a very good book. Now, again, I grew up in the 2000s, so I got the Cliff Notes versions, right? Like, you can say whatever you want. I ain't got no bachelor's degree, so don't ask me to be reading crazy stuff. So what I did is I heard about the book. I went on YouTube. Somebody summarized the book for me so I can tell you about the book. Very simple. Did I read the book front page, the back page? No, sir. But I got the summary and I got the Cliff Notes. All right. Anybody know about Cliff Notes? No. Before there was Google, there was Cliff Notes, right? So the book is called Who Moved My Cheese? And the premise of the book is this, is that a mouse comes out and every day he gets his cheese. He eats his cheese because every day he assumes that the cheese is going to be there. Every day he assumes, hey, I'm gonna wake up, get my cheese, and I'm in it, right? I'm doing my thing. Until the day he wakes up and then there is no cheese. And that's when the book title gets Who Moved My Cheese, right? Because again, the assumption that I'm going to always have this is where the problem is, and where the problem lies in the HBCU space is that you assume things will never change. And then when things do change, you're always on the back end of it, not being proactive, but being more reactive. Of now things have shifted and you're not in the driver's seat of the new shift. You're trying to catch up to what the shift is already is. So then when you catch up to the shift and you're eating the cheese, it then moves and shifts again. And again, we're in this pattern of always trying to catch up to who has your cheese, right? So when you talk about exposure, it's not, is exposure bad? Again, and I'm going to use the analogy of this, right? And I hope you guys catch it. I try to listen. I know everybody. I got PhDs on here. I got doctorates. I got more letters than the alphabet in my chat, right? But I also got some people who ain't graduate college or got some associate's degrees like myself, right? So I'm going to break it down like this. The exposure that people say is bad, right? I go back to the food critic. That's really popular. He talks like this. I can't remember his name, just like slipped off the top of my head. But when he goes out and he reviews a restaurant, right? The exposure that restaurant gets is good, right? It's good. It's great, right? Like he goes there, he tests the food. Keith Lee, thank you so much, right? Keith Lee goes, he eats the food, he tastes it, and he tells you about the place that he just ate at. Right? And from that point forward, once you get the exposure that Keith Lee, good or bad, again, good or bad, that he gives you, 9 times out of 10, he doesn't really do bad reviews. He just kind of, downplays it a little bit. But if it's good, it is up to you on how you capitalize off of the exposure. I'm going to say that again, right? Mr. Tom as well, right? Or they say the evil Keith Lee. If Keith Lee comes to your restaurant, it is not Keith Lee's job for you to manage what is coming your way. It is not his job to help you manage what is coming your way after a good review. It's not his job. He's giving you the 30 seconds, the minute, the 2 minutes of fame that you've been asking for. Now, how do you capitalize and build off of it? Mr. Chom Tom comes to you and he gives you a review and he tells you your food is damn good and go here and do this. It is not his job how you capitalize off of the exposure, because some people do well. Some people add the staff. Some people open up a second business. Some people really get in the weeds and make this thing work. And some people drop the ball. Some people can't manage the new increase. Some people can't manage the customer service. Some people can't manage the new orders. That is what the SWAC was. Deion and Hugh Jackson, Deion especially, let's just focus on Deion, right? Deion especially was Keith Lee. Deion Sanders was Keith Lee. And you know what Deion did? Deion looked around and said, hey, baby, this ain't too bad, baby, because I'm here to change the game. I'm here to do this. I mean, we got some good coaches down here, baby. I mean, we got some good football. I seen football players, baby. NFL players, NFL talent. We got it down. He's giving you, right? He's get 2 years, whatever, right? He's giving you the exposure and the press that you need. Now, again, did you capitalize on it? That is the question. A lot of people are misconstruing what exposure is. Exposure is just to get you to a new fan, a new person that has never heard of you before. It is not the exposure's job to help you capitalize off of the newness. It is your job to keep that new customer. It is your job to keep that new eyeball, that new viewer. It is your job to capitalize off of the exposure that you get. See, what happens is Bamas get lazy. I'm going to say this again. Bamas get lazy and think just because I got the new viewer, I should get money. Just because my stuff is being shown to different audiences, I should deserve the money. It's an entitlement that why do I have to go out and work to keep a client? Again, that's why people with small businesses do commercials or they do billboards. I got to get my business in front of new people. And if I get a call, I'm going to close them. If I get an interest, I'm going to close them. Because if I didn't get the 100 new interests and I close 5 people, see, it's the mindset that you have to have when you're dealing with exposure. People don't have the right mindset, and you have people in these high positions that do not understand how to capitalize off of the exposure. I don't give a damn if Deion said every bad thing about HBCU football. You know what he did do? He brought new eyes that had never been on your product before. Listen to me when I tell you, I don't give a damn who tells you we've been this and we've been that. Fuck all that. Deion Sanders brought people that had never known anything about your product before. And all the people at the top did was sit back and say, oh, this is good. I like this. We will be here for some time. Where's my PV rag? Where's my PV rag? I feel like I'm preaching in here today. I'm preaching in here today. All the people at the top did was say, Deion's going to be here for a while. We're going to sit back and enjoy the ride. We're going to do this. Oh, we're good. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. That's all they did. Because at no point in time did anybody at the 4-letter institution come up with a plan to say, you know what? How can we capitalize off the new fans that Deion is bringing into this 4-letter institution? So again, people say exposure is bad. No, it is not. If you can capitalize off of it, any new business will tell you, I'll take the exposure because then it's on me to close the client. Put me in front of new people. Put me in front of a new audience. It is my job. So, perfect example. I'll use myself for an example. I love using myself because people say, Scotty, Deion built you. I will say this. Deion gave me 30 seconds of fame. And all I did with it is turn my channel from 1,000 to 17,000. All I did with it was build multiple shows. All I did with it was have everybody else politic with everybody else to, live stream on my platform and give them voices as well. All I did was put people up in higher places to make sure that their voices are heard. That is how you take 30 seconds of fame and you flip it for your good. All I did was took a part-time hobby and made it a 4-year career. Right? Again, it was not Deion's job to sustain me. It was not. Deion tossed me the alley-oop, and Deion says, what are you going to do with it? Now, Deion would say, I bit the hand that fed me and went away from what was working, and I say, I just did me. I just did me. Right? So again, for all the people that love to say Deion built me, Deion gave me the platform. But what I did with the platform is I freaked it and made it my own and it stayed relevant. There's a lot of platforms. I'm going to say this again. There's a lot of platforms that were during that Deion era that didn't make it out that Deion era. And there's a lot of platforms that have started after the Deion era that have not grown as fast as me from the Deion era. Get my PV rag. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear on what we're talking about when it's called exposure. Right? Because again, it is not whatever's job. It's not the person who's giving you the exposure. It's not their job to sustain you. It is your job to sustain yourself. And if you have a plan and say, hey, if this goes the right way, this is what I'm going to do with it. If this goes the right way, if this goes the way I think it could go, man, do you know what I could do with this new? Do you know what I could do? And it was none of that. That's the part where people dropped the ball, that there was no foresight to say, okay, what do we do when Deion leaves? What do we have in place? What can we allow Deion to build for us so that when Deion leaves, we still have something that's sustained? See, what people, let me be very clear. See, what HBCU homers would say to you, or what they would try to do is say, well, we were here before Deion and we're going to be here after Deion. So the fuck what? You weren't prospering before Deion and you're not prospering after Deion. So what are we talking about? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, sustaining and surviving is not prospering. I'm going to say that again. Sustaining or surviving is not prospering. Now, you can say that, hey, we got this deal and we're doing this and we just got this money. But again, it's all come off the backside of what Deion has started. Now, my thing is, how do you sustain that over time? The HBCU Go deal only happens because of Deion. Byron Allen thought he was going to be there for a good minute too. I was the only individual at the top of the mountain telling y'all Bamas, he's not going to be here that long. And all the Deion nutsack riders was all here talking about, he's going to be here 10 years. He's going to wait till Shador graduates. Oh my God. Where did Shador graduate from? Where did Shador graduate from? Oh, okay. All right. He's gonna take us to 4 Celebration Bowls. Like, bro, my again, the only one on the island by himself. Hey, he's not gonna be here that long. Hey, he's not gonna stay. You're just hating. You're just hating because you don't like Pothole State, nor do you like Deion. I'm like, no. It's a play. It's a play. It's a move. This ain't checkers. It's chess. Okay. And most of you members was playing checkers. All right. I was already 5 steps ahead. It's chess. So again, don't be upset at the exposure piece. You have to be upset with the person that has not capitalized off the exposure. Now, let me say this. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna just say Phillips. I don't like stuff like this because it's a lie. It's a lie. Because context matters. Oh, wow, look at that. Coach Prime, Ed Reed, Hugh Jackson didn't actually magically improve anything. I wonder if there were people who tried to warn y'all. Now, again, context matters. You bald-headed clown who graduated from Morehouse and never talks about Morehouse. Got to be the only nigga I know who spend more time talking about. You don't even talk about your alma mater. You talk about everybody else but your alma mater. And then the only time you talk about your alma mater, when your alma mater was trying to hire Hugh Jackson, now you got Terrence Mathis, and your Bama's still losing. But I digress. That's not the point here. The context that I'm trying to give you is this. Individually, they've all contributed to the school. I'm going to say that again. See, again, context matters. Individually, Jackson State doesn't get. Now, they'll tell you, oh, we had plans to build out the locker room and all. That's cool, whatever. I don't give 2 shits. All right, whatever. Right? That practice field, that was Pothole City. Okay? Go check Coach Prime, the documentary first season. Right? It was trash. The field was absolutely trash. That was Deion. Right? Again, there's an individuality that had happened that you have to respect that. Maybe in the global scheme of everything that, no, Deion didn't change. It didn't magically change. But at the end of the day, Deion Sanders gave Jackson State a shot in the arm. Deion Sanders gave Jackson State a shot in the arm, which he is only really supposed to do for his team. I mean, what he did for the 4-letter institution, and I'm not talking about ESPN, what he did for the 4-letter conference was not his concern. He's not the boss of the 4-letter conference. So it doesn't matter if he didn't do it for the conference or not. What he did for Jackson was his job, which was he gave them a shot in the arm. He gave them some life, breathed some life into them. And now they're back being who they thought they were when they never were, when they never were for a while, right? So again, he did his job. Ed Reed would have done the same thing if Bethune-Cookman could have got out their feelings. If Bethune-Cookman gets out their feelings, they don't deal with 3 years of Little Bill and the shit show that has been. They don't even have to deal with that. Moving on. Hugh Jackson brought mad money into Grambling. Now, media days were a little hectic and, mariachi bands and all that. I get it, right? But Hugh Jackson brought money into Grambling. And it's not just me saying that. Trey, who is a staunch Grambling fan, has put that on Twitter in numerous points. So again, context matter, and you would think for a journalist, he would give you the context. The context is, no, did they globally change HBCU football? No, they did not. Did they put an eye on HBCU football? Yes, they did. So that's half the job right there. To put an eye on a product that was hidden or was kind of under the radar. Right? Deion dusted them off and lifted them up and said, hey guys, check it. Look, everybody look at this. Don't this look good? Don't this look good? I think it looks good. And so everybody was like, yeah, that looks good. But if you're asking, did Deion, Hugh, or Ed Reed change the financial landscape in the HBCU athletic space, then no, they didn't. That was never their job. You have somebody in that role who gets paid the money to do that. But again, the exposure is not the problem. It is the execution behind the exposure. what was executed behind the scenes that would have capitalized and grown the revenue for the four-letter conference. That's all I'm saying. So again, there lacks context. So this is the comment this is the tweet that he was referring. He retweeted, he quote tweeted this. This was what he quote tweeted from HBCU Sports, Ballhead Cameron Fogg. It says, exposure has not magically improved, right? HBCU's athletic resources. It has been a profitable relationship, and it has not been a profitable relationship, in my opinion, said Chris Stevens, host of the MEAC and more on ESPN's partnership with the SWAC and the MEAC. This is the clip from the tweet.
Every time a PWI or a power forward tells ESPN to jump, them jokers say how high. And it costs everybody else. Yep. Shouts out to Stutter and Noob. 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, 2 on the West Coast, 11 a.m. Hawaiian. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And one of the things that I said in my piece was that exposure has not magically improved our athletic programs' resources. And it hasn't. Because how long have we had this deal with ESPN, the MEAC, and the SWAC? About 20 years? Somewhere thereabouts? Because I remember the NBC channel, that was very brief because they never really got any traction because Radio 1 started TV 1 about the same time the NBC channel started. And TV 1 just sort of took over whatever black, I guess, niche following that NBC would have had, and NBC just went away.
Okay, let me say this, right? Let me give again it's context. It's context. Why is ESPN the blame for the lack of ESPN didn't negotiate with themselves. ESPN didn't walk into the table. See, again, when you see what I hate to hear is HBCU administrations and HBCU alums of those administrations do not take accountability for nothing. They think a white person that is in the game of business is supposed to give you something. That is the like the stupidest thing I ever heard. You get what you negotiate. And if you have blundering fools in positions that will change the direction of your life for 5 to 10 years, that is on you. It is not on ESPN. It's not. And again, what leverage do you have? I keep saying this. In the game of business, it is not what you can do for me. It is what leverage do you hold and what can you negotiate? The SEC and the Big Ten, they have leverage. Oh, you don't want to pay me? Well, I know a company that will. You don't want to pay me what I'm worth? I know a company that will. We'll go to Fox. We'll go to Apple. We'll go to Amazon. We'll go to Google. Like, they have the leverage. They have the numbers. They have the viewership to dictate terms. They just do. No matter how you want to objectify it or say they did us wrong or they can't do this, they have the numbers to say differently. But again, I pitch it back to the HBCU space. And I would say, you're the one that kept signing a bad ESPN deal over and over and over and over again. That is on you. That is not on ESPN. If I'm ESPN, I got by. I'm good. Listen, it's no different than HBCU and ESPN are like this. This is how I view it. The Power 4 and Power 5, you need a master's degree, right? You need 9 years of experience. I need you to have certifications. I need you to do this. You know how they look at y'all? $15 an hour. $15 an hour. Take it or leave it. And you're so happy. You done graduated college. You just trying to get your foot in the door. And so where you start at to where you finish at, you look like you got progress, but you started so far behind the 8 ball that you never valued yourself in the beginning. So now when you're playing catch up and now you're looking for a raise and he says 1850, you like, yes, woo, 1850, I'm up. But the dude that started at 100,000 with the same degree is getting a bonus, company stock, PTO, 3 weeks. Like, come on, man. You cannot blame that on ESPN. You gotta sit and you gotta deal with it for yourself. And again, and I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. Nobody ever wants to take account. The space is so sickening to me because nobody ever wants to take accountability. Nobody ever wants to say, you know what? It's my fault. I did that. It was because again, if you walk into a deal, I'm gonna keep it as funky and fresh as I can and straight with you. If you understood the aspects of media and you read between the lines, you can see the problems that occurred. You can see the problems that occur. You can see why SWAC TV is what it is. You can see why things are going the way they are. You can see it. And I won't break it down for you here because I'll be considered a hater. And all I want to do is bring down the HBCU space and I just hate black people. But when you leaving people, let's keep it a buck. When you're leaving people in a position for 5, 8, 10 years, they're dictating your future. And you get idiots in there who then consult with other idiots in there, and then they put you in a bigger hole. So let's be very clear. You're in a 5 to 6 year ESPN deal that started at like $575. I want you to understand, because what he is saying, there lacks context. There lacks context because he's not telling you what is in the contract. All he's giving you emotions. Oh, I don't like that they're moving the games. I don't like that ESPN. Well, I've paid you to do whatever the fuck I want to do to them. I've paid you $18 an hour, so get your ass on the fries. Mop the floor. You can't get mad about what you negotiated. You signed that deal. You said this is really good. I like this. Pay me $15 an hour. I need the money. That's where we're at. So don't give me the emotions of, oh, I don't know why they're moving our games and they said it's for more. They'll do whatever the fuck they want to do because I own it. I own it. I've paid for it. I own it. If I want to move my car from my parking lot to my garage, I can do that because I own it. You might not like how that sounds, but it's the truth. Get mad at the contract in which you negotiated it. So again, let's break this down. So 5 or 6 years ago, 2019, 2018-ish, is you re-sign the ESPN deal, which essentially at the end of your, I think it started around like 600,000, maybe like 575. Now, mind you, this is for 10 schools. I need you to understand. I need you guys to truly, truly, truly understand what I'm saying to you. In 2019, when they re-signed this ESPN contract, I believe it started like 575 or 600,000. That was for 10 schools. For 6 years, at the end of the 6-year term, it gets up to 735 or 725 or 715. So every year there's like a 25% raise or something like that. But look where you started from. for 10 schools for $700,000 at the end of that. That's what your deal was. Not even $1 million. I need you to understand what I'm saying to you. I have the paperwork. I can pull the shit right now. Right? So again, you cannot get mad at what the product is. You have to get mad at what was negotiated in the terms. So now, what you're seeing now is the cheese has been moved. I'm preaching in here today. I am preaching in here today. The cheese has now been moved. Right? The cheese has now been moved. And now the 4-letter conference is now coming up to the where's my cheese? So that's where you get the SWAC TV from. I'm saying it. I am preaching in here today. You get it because the cheese has now been moved. And now I didn't expect the cheese to be moved. I didn't expect that the media space was going to go this way. I didn't expect that the DEI dollars was going to dry up. I didn't expect Donald Trump to win another election and shut all the black. I didn't expect this to happen. So now the cheese, I didn't expect ESPN to be somewhat in a little bankrupt in a battle for the media. I didn't expect any of that. So now the cheese has been moved, and now I got to come up with a plan. And that's how you get SWAC TV. Because it's one of those things, well, because again, I need you, please listen to me. And I'm not saying it. I'm not saying this like I don't want to come off as a hater. I need you to guys, because I'm telling you, a lot of HBCU people don't like to take accountability. All they want to do is blame. Oh, they didn't do this for us and they didn't do that for us. Whatever. It's I always like to bring it back to you. If you walked into a job and the job says, hey, Scotty, we really would like you. We really like you, right? We want to offer you this job. We want to offer your salary at $85,000 and we want to pay you 1 week of PTO starting whatever. And you'd be like, okay, I know the market. My job is worth with my experience, with my degrees, I'm worth 105 to 110. But if you sign the deal at 85, you're agreeing to the amount. And you would leave $20,000 on the table. You cannot be mad at anybody but yourself when you go back to the office a month later and you walk to a white man or you walk up to another brother and you're like, hey, man, like, how much you get? Oh, man, they paid me 103. Fuck. You'll be mad at yourself, but you can't blame them. They did their job by lowballing you. I'm not trying to pay you more. I'm trying to get more for less. I'm trying to get more for less. You cannot get mad at the employer. And that is what they do this is what you hear. This is what you hear. And again, when you make your I know I got some C-level execs in here. I know I got some supervisors in the chat. I know I got some business owners in the chat. When you make your pitch to show why I should get paid more, what are you going to bring up? I'm going to bring up my education. I'm going to bring up my experience. I'm going to bring up the roles that I've been in and how I benefited the companies before me, before I got here, to show you that I'm worth 105 to 110 to 115 or whatever I want to get paid. So again, bring it back to the SWAC. I was trying not to say the name. Bring it back to the 4-letter conference. Bring it back to the MEAC. Bring it back to them, right? If I want to go out, if I feel like ESPN, listen to me. I'm preaching in here today. I need y'all to take a listen. If ESPN has now moved the cheese, and now I don't know if they're going to re-up with me at a rate that I want to get, I'm going to say that again. I'm going to slow it down for you. ESPN has now moved the cheese. And now I know in my mind, I cannot come back to my constituents and say they're paying us 5 years for $800,000. I can't come back to my extensions with that. I can't come back to my constituents with that. I can't come back to my constituents with, I want to do a 5-year deal at $900,000. I can't come back to my constituents with that. When I got HBCU Go paying me $12 million a year, $1 million per school, there's no way a bigger entity. I got to get it. So what do? I come out with the SWAC TV. I come out with getting my own analytics. So you know what my own analytics? The analytics I am preaching in here today. I'm telling you right now, class is in session. There ain't no inside the lab. It ain't none of that. I'm professor today, right? So what happens is so I can make sure I have all my accolades, my education, my results. I make SWAC TV. I put it for free to get as many people as I want to come underneath this umbrella. So when my re-up comes up or my negotiation, what do? I show them my analytics from myself because they won't give me the analytics. They're not going to give me a way to negotiate against them. That's dumb. Why would I give you leverage to negotiate against me? Those are my analytics. It's my platform. I own that platform. So again, they can't get the analytics from them. So what happens is I got to build my own. I got to put everybody underneath my own. So when I go up for my re-up and they say, hey, light-skinned man, and light-skinned man friend who is external relations, but you don't know what external means, right? We want to have a negotiation. Okay, cool. Well, these are our analytics from our app. This is what we've done. This is what we have. This is what this is. So we want $3 million per school. That's all this is. But again, I say to you, you're $2 too short. You missed the window. You missed the mark where those analytics would have truly mattered in the Deion era, because in the Deion era, it would have exploded because people were just trying. I'm just trying to watch Deion games. Go back and watch those YouTube games. Go back and watch the YouTube highlights from Jackson State. Just go back and watch those. Imagine a coaching show. Imagine a coaching show with Deion. How do you think Fox News did what they did? All they did was dick ride with Neely and ride that wave until it couldn't be ridden no more. They haven't, listen to me, until they got Vaughn, they have never, listen to me, I'm preaching in here today. They have never done an individual segment with a school outside of Neely and Vaughn. That is it. That's it. You haven't seen a show about Southern. You haven't seen a show about Grambling. You haven't seen a show about any other. You haven't seen any other thing come across Fox News other than the time they had Neely and Vaughn being their FAMU correspondent. That is it. That is it. So again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. Stop blaming ESPN for the dumb shit that the Bamas did before. Stop. It's not ESPN's fault. You can't get mad that, listen, do I like that ESPN is moving the South Carolina State game? Absolutely. The NCCU and South Carolina State game? I'm pissed. I think it's the worst decision in the world. But if I paid for it, what you gonna tell me? What you gonna tell me? I paid for it. I own, this is my game. I'll flex it how I see fit. I'll put it where I need it to be. So what you talking about? Like, people get too emotional and act like this is not business. It's business first. And there is no love lost in business. They have paid the money to control these certain amount of games. They're going to control them. If you have a problem with that, renegotiate your fucking deal. Very simple. Very simple. So again, let's move forward. The losers, these are your losers. Your losers are your 4-letter conference. Your 4-letter conference is new broadcasting and the HBCU fans. Now you're probably gonna sit back and say, Scotty, how did the 4-letter conference or the 4-letter conference TV lose? They lost out on the potential of what it could have been. I'm gonna say that again, right? It goes back to my initial point. It's not about the exposure, it's how you would have capitalized on the exposure. You had a better shot at throwing some shit at the wall and making it stick with Deion than you ever do now, than you ever will now. People were just watching. You could have listen. You could have partnered. Before Bucky got his YouTube channel off the ground, you could have partnered with Bucky and had behind the scenes footage all on SWAC TV. Wouldn't that have blown up? You could have partnered with Bucky before he did his well-off media stuff and just said, hey, Bucky, all the content that you're doing for your dad, hey, can you put it? Hey, we'll pay you to put it on SWAC TV. That would have gone crazy. Just like it's going crazy on YouTube now by itself. So again, it's not ESPN's fault. It's not Deion's fault. It's not anybody's fault but the 4-letter conference on its own, on how they did not capitalize on the opportunity that was afforded by them. And the reason I say the losers are HBCU fans is because the reason that HBCU fans are losers because you lost out on the possibility of what the space could have looked like. On top of all the new YouTubers that came in, on top of all the new things that have come in, of what the possibility of this space could have looked like overall, just overarching, of just like the entertainment and the programming and the shows. And if somebody could have really understood how to capitalize on the market and capitalize on the opportunity, it would have been crazy. It really would have went crazy if somebody would have built some sort of infrastructure to hold up the new viewers. You don't know. Okay. So this is the thing, right? You don't know how it would have looked, because I would say this. See, okay, I'm not going to be too long, but I want to break this down because the SWAC wasn't going to pay. It could have been a revenue sharing. The same, all YouTube is, and you guys got to understand, all YouTube is an advertising revenue sharing platform. So how you get paid is based off the views per 1,000, you get paid. So if you gave the same deal, right? So for us on YouTube, it's like, I think it's 60-40. If they would have done a 70-30 deal with Bucky, he gets 70, the SWAC get 30. That's a win, because again, you're bringing eyeballs to help build our analytics so that we can reap on the back end. It's not the front end. See, some people are short-sighted. It's not the front end that you're trying to win. You're trying to win the back end when you got the leverage. That's how you get leverage to negotiate. So it's not that the SWAC would have paid Bucky. They wouldn't have paid him out of their own pocket. They would have paid him out of the advertiser money that they would have gotten for the eyeballs. So if the SWAC can go up, if the 4-letter conference could have went to an advertiser and said, hey, we're getting 300,000 hits a month on this app, and this channel or this section is getting 150,000 of those. Well, for every 150,000, for every 1,000, let's say he gets $9. You do the math, and then they do a 70-30 rev split with that. That's a win. That's a win. Again, this was before, again, this was before Bucky did his own stuff on Well-Off Media, where he was just putting it on his social media. If all you're telling Bucky is the same thing you're doing on social media, put it on our platform and we'll pay you. Jackson State had nothing to do with that. Jackson State cannot control what Bucky did with his own camera on his own time. So it's not even a Jackson State thing. They can't dictate. I'm doing the deal with Bucky. This is how I know you guys don't understand media. You're not asking Jackson State to make content and put it on the platform. You're asking Bucky, who's an independent freelancer who so happens dad to be Deion, to put it on our platform. That's all you're doing, and paying them through the rev stream. And paying them through the revenue sharing of what his eyeballs or what his content brings in. Because I'm only paying you from what you're able to bring in. It's not that I got to pay Bucky so much amount of money every month to do it. It's, hey, based off what, it's no different than YouTube. YouTube doesn't have a guaranteed check for you at the beginning of the month. It's, hey, whatever you do this month is how you get paid. That's how it works. They could have. Right? Jackson State could have built a YouTube channel, right? No, okay, perfect example. Neely and what he did with the pregame show, right? You could have done the same thing with a Jackson State YouTube channel. Literally, if Jackson State would have built a YouTube channel and put the pregame show underneath the Jackson State channel, they would have built revenue off of that. It's not I'm not about to, I don't got time to deal with this. Edwin doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway. The winners, listen, at the end of the day, Jackson State comes out a winner because of the injection that Deion did for them in their brand. Point blank, period. Now, there ain't no national or nothing, but you can now walk into certain schools and be like, oh, aren't you the school that Deion paid coach that? Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. I'll talk to y'all. That's really what it is. That's what they've done now. Now TC Taylor's rebuilding it, but TC Taylor rebuilding it with a brand that Deion pushed into the spotlight, right? So you can't. I don't care what nobody says. What he's doing now, he would have never done if Deion didn't come in and push that brand to another level and take it to another level. But Deion elevating that brand, and now TC Taylor taking it and doing what he's doing with the brand, it's just all. That you got to count them as winners. Alabama A&M. Now you're like, Scotty, how in the hell is Alabama A&M a winner? Listen, Jackson State beating them down for them years. That's how Conor Maynard got fired. So that's how you get your new coach. So based off Jackson State whooping your ass for the last 3 or 4 years, like if they don't do that, Conor Maynard don't get fired. So it's like hand in hand, right? It's like hand in hand. And you got to give FAMU's a winner because of the Deion notoriety and the Willie Simmons battle. Put that battle front face in everybody's face, right? Yeah, Dancy's a winner too, right? Put that the Orange Blossom Classic, put that in everybody's face. First game, elevated Willie's profile. Even with Willie winning at FAMU, him going against Deion elevated his profile as well. Him continuing to win at FAMU elevated their profile. So it all went together. So you got to give the winners in this thing is Jackson, FAM, and Alabama A&M in the overall context of everything, right? So, but listen, I'm going to say this. And it's no shot at anybody, but at the end of the day, the feelings that you have towards ESPN are valid because they're your feelings, but there might not be facts in those feelings. I'm gonna say that again. Your feelings are valid. Could you not like how they do this? Could you not like how they do this? Could you not like it? You're absolutely right, because those are your feelings. But the fact of the matter is that you've put people in roles and positions that have signed contracts that have put you behind the 8 ball. And now that the cheese has been moved, what? Dog, shut the fuck up. Can we stop this? Can we stop this foolishness, bro? Bama's was calling y'all Jacksonville State. National publications were still calling you Jacksonville State, even when they were referencing Jacksonville State with JSU. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. What are we talking about? Your football program was beyond irrelevant. Deion Sanders didn't even know where you were. He didn't even know what Jackson State was. Can we not act like this? Come on, man. Stop. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. Let's stop the foolishness. Anyway, my last point is this: is that you can't get mad at the situation you've put yourself in. ESPN did not trick you. ESPN did not hoodwink you. You negotiated a contract, good or bad, and you're living in the form of what you signed. That's just the basis of what it is. Again, the exposure that you thought you were going to get from ESPN is not ESPN's problem. There is no value to your thoughts of what ESPN was supposed to do for you. It was like the fact that people can have the gumption and be like, I thought we were getting more from ESPN. You get what you signed for. That's what you get. You get what you signed up for. That's ESPN Plus. That's ESPN Ocho. That's ESPN Nueve. That's ESPN 3. ESPN U. That's what you get. Because that's what you signed up for. So again, your mindset of what exposure should be is not ESPN's problem. That's a you problem. And how you capitalize off of any opportunity that ESPN has to flex your game or to not flex your game is again on you. But we're talking about the same four-letter conference that can barely advertise for their own things, but yet and still expects or should expect a four-letter entity like ESPN to do all the work for them, give them all the money in the world while they just sit back and say, oh, we're good. Oh, we're the premier all-black football. Nigga, there's only 4 of you. Like, I hate hearing that shit. Oh, we're the premier black. First of all, the other one across the coast got 6 damn teams. The next 2 are D2 teams, and nobody gives a fuck about D2 teams. So when you say, oh, we're the number 1 premier black, it's like, goddamn, you're the tallest midget. Congratulations. Like, bro, you're all handicapped. You all got blue stickers. What are we talking about? That's when I hear that, it makes my skin crawl because I'm like, that got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. We're the top all black premier conference. Like, bro, really? Really? Your competitor is at 6 teams right now. That's your competitor. And everybody trying to leave them. They like a girl. Me act like a girl with syphilis. Ain't nobody trying to be with that. Nah, I'm good. You got syphilis. I heard you burning. I'm good. That's how everybody in the MEAC feel. Don't nobody want to be there. You winning by default. You're not even winning because you good. You just winning by default. Come on, man. It's just mind-boggling to me, man. But I gotta get out of here. I gotta pick up my daughter from school. All I'm saying is this, man. Focus the energy in the right direction. Again, I've always come in this space, and all I've ever wanted to do in this space is push the space forward, right? Make it more innovative, make it more appealing, get other people to understand what this space is and how it could be great. But when you have people in higher positions that do not understand or do not care to figure out how to capitalize, and they're always 3 or 4 steps behind, you're always going to be asking, who moved my cheese? And you're always going to be behind the 8 ball on what's next and what's coming with you, or what can I do, or what next steps can I make to be better than what I was yesterday. So, but last thing people will say, well, Scotty, like, I mean, at least they're trying. At least they're trying. You know what trying is? I dare everybody right now, if you're in your office, at home, pick up a pencil, right? Pick up a pencil, right? Right now, right? Hold it like this. Pick up a pencil, hold it like this. Try to drop it. Pick up a pen, pick up a pencil, pick up a piece of paper, and try to drop it. You either do it or you don't. There is no trying. You're either going to drop it or you're going to hold it. There, you can't try to drop something. You can't try. You either going to do it or you're not. And how you do it or how you execute it is the main point at topic. Cal, coming to you.
Hey, what's up, man? I know you got to pick up your daughter. I'm at work, so I'll keep this short. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Cal.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, yeah, I'll make this quick. Short. Back to being competitive, HBCUs, like, there's only 4 conferences. You really want to be competitive. Why not take our ass to the FCS playoffs and be competitive in real football games that count toward, you know what I'm saying? That's my take on that. You know, because the MEAC is on 16, SWAC is 12. But like outside of each other, no one really gives us any respect. The only way to get respect is to earn that respect by playing outside competition. SWAC is notorious for it. At least the MEAC does schedule other FCS teams outside of HBCUs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you gotta build. You gotta.
I gotta get back.
All right, no problem, Cal. I got you.
I gotta get back to work.
My thing is this, right? When you gotta, it's the games. Let me be very clear. It is somewhat the Jackson and Hampton games, but that's not really what it is. It would have been better like a Jackson and UT Martin, a Jackson like the Jackson and Southern Miss game, like a Southern and a UT Martin game, a Southern and a Gardner Webb. Like that is how you build your profile outside of just the band, right? And again, I don't have a problem. I don't have the problem with the Celebration Bowl and the kissing of the cousins, but I have a problem with your out of conference games being conference games. That's some weak shit. You can't get it around. You can't make that make sense to me. You can never make that make sense to me. It is some weak shit, right? To where it's like, I am going to play my out of conference game as a conference game. That is so dumb to me. So to me, building up your profile in a different way of playing Nichols, playing UT Martin, playing ULM, playing these low-level G5s or these mid-level FCS programs, that helps you build your platform. I mean, your profile as well. Mr. Sargent, coming to you.
What's up, Scotty?
What's going on?
So first of all, I am so glad I read that book, Who Moved My Cheese, so I knew and understood everything you were talking about. So put a link to Amazon so everybody else, particularly TJ, can read that book. Yeah, I'm calling you out.
I got you.
Okay. So Scotty, this is why I believe you're secretly from FAMU, because you have a level of desire to be excellent, right? Coach Willie Simmons learned that his team is not going to be perfect, but he can get his team to excellent. Dr. Humphreys told us we don't have to be perfect, but we can be excellent. We can have a tradition of excellence with caring at our university. And I'm not saying all this to pump up FAMU. I'm saying that you want us to be excellent.
Yes.
Whether we be in the four-letter conference with a TV show or in the four-letter conference, we need to be excellent. And we need to not try, but we need to be as good as we were last year and better. Or what did the football players say? 1% better every day.
1% better
right?
every day. I love.
We need to have that mentality in the office of the four-letter conference that we're in.
Absolutely.
And so, Scotty, thank you again. And you know me, I wish you would have pulled up those contracts so I could just be jumping up and down out there. You know, because receipts are everything, right? Receipts are everything nowadays.
They are.
Much respect to the fact you gotta get your family and get your kids. Thank you again. This to me, though, the number one was showing the contract between Grambling and Southern. I watch that show sometimes because it was so good when you put the contracts out there, Scotty. But to everyone else, Scotty wants us to be excellent, y'all, and we talk about that at our schools. We need to have that at our schools, and we need to have that in our conference. I'll leave it there.
Appreciate it,
Scotty.
Listen, and I appreciate that, Mr. Sergeant. I really do. Let me say this: what I get from what Mr. Sergeant is saying, and I listen. Nobody's saying that you need to be the SEC, right? Because if I said that, Ron Tom would kill me every time. I don't know who Ron Tom is, but Ron Tom would kill me every time if I said, "Oh, we need to be the SEC and we need to be getting paid with the SEC." I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is if you're telling me you're the premier black FCS conference and blah 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 blah, right? Just get the best value of what you are for where you're at, right? Like, don't start at $15 an hour when based off your leverage and your degrees and your accolades, you can get $55 an hour or $60 an hour, right? That's what listen, the SEC, they in that $125, $200 an hour. But what I'm saying is get your value where you're at. You're not $15 an hour, but you damn sure ain't $200 an hour. So you got to be somewhere in between the 55 and 70, or I'll give up money to get more leverage to where if you flex my game, you got to pay the school. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to finagle some stuff in this contract that makes it make sense for your institutions. Hey, if you flex a game on a Thursday or a Friday, you got to pay each institution $100,000 or $150,000 or $200,000. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to, and if that means I'm giving up in the front end, like the $3 or $4 or $5 million, or maybe I get that $3, $4, $5 million in the clause, in a clause that states, hey, they can only flex one game to a Thursday night game, and they only can flex one game to a Friday night game. Any other flex, they got to pay. But I'll tell you one last thing before I get up out of here. The issue that I had is even in the MEAC, NFL Network, I know for a fact, was trying to buy one of the games from ESPN, or like one of the games that wasn't picked up by ESPN. NFL Network wanted to broadcast one of the games, and the school's like, oh no, we'll go back to ESPN. That's the stupidity that we have to deal with in this space. But then you want to blame ESPN. You want to blame the white man. You want to blame, come on, man, stop it. Stop it. You have people in place that don't know how to do business. You got people in place that don't know how to do their job. And you got imbeciles in place that are running conferences that do not, I'm not calling whoever an imbecile. Like, I'm just saying, like, in general. Okay. But I'm saying, like, you have people in the wrong position doing the wrong job, and they just trying to act like they know. And they're consulting with people in the four-letter conference to be like, oh, help me. Like, what the fuck have you done? What have you negotiated? What $1 million deal have you negotiated? Okay, I'm done. Because y'all about to get me. I'm about to go off. I'm about to go somewhere else. Anyway, listen. Guys, I appreciate your time, man. Listen, don't forget Monday night is going to go down. Outspoken, me, my boy Perry, as well as my guy Josh from HBCU Nightly. We going down. Got some special guests coming through. All right, you be ready. Be tuned in. All right, at 9 o'clock. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holla. God bless.